everyone, warm welcome to join us for this edition of AN English News, and I'm Abdul Ahad Mohammadi. President Hamid Karzai has plans to hold a meeting with the Taliban in Saudi Arabia in an attempt to jumpstart peace talks, media reports say. The landmark meeting will come in the coming weeks before the establishment of a Taliban office in Qatar, according to Western and Afghan government officials. The Taliban have refused previously to recognize the government of Hamid Karzai. Senior officials in Kabul say the Taliban have agreed to the meeting. The insurgents group have so far insisted they would only talk to the U.S. and other allies of the Kabul government. Ministry of Finance signed a memorandum of understanding in economic cooperation field with neighboring Iran. Speaking during the signing ceremony, Mustafa Mastur, Afghanistan's deputy finance minister, said that the agreement will facilitate Afghan traders' customs, transportations, and visa problems. Meanwhile, Behrouz Ali-Sheri, Iran's deputy economic minister, emphasized that these measures will speed up the two countries' imports and exports process. Iran benefits a lot from her trade agreements with Afghanistan as it has wide access to Afghan markets, but Afghan merchants are barred of access to Iranian markets, according to Afghan businessmen. A jury in Canada has found an Afghan immigrant couple and their son guilty of the 2009 so-called honor killing death of 4 female relatives. The court in Kingston convicted Mohammed Shafi, his wife, and her son Hamid on Sunday of first-degree murder, a verdict that carries an automatic sentence of life in prison without chance of parole for 25 years. The bodies of the victims were found in a car submerged in a canal in Kingston, where the family had stopped for the night on their way home. Pakistan's Islamic hardline party threatened to keep NATO supply routes closed. Even if the Pakistani government decides to restore NATO's supply route, the country's religious parties plan to robustly oppose the move. Jamaat-e-Islami Chief Munawwar Hassan said on Sunday that any resolution submitted in Parliament favoring restoration of the U.S. NATO supply routes would be a step against Pakistan. The party has strong ties with Taliban and Al-Qaeda. Pakistan closed the supply route after a NATO cross-border airstrike has killed 24 of its soldiers. Syrian troops seized eastern suburbs of Damascus from rebels late on Sunday, opposition activists said, after 2 days of fighting only a few kilometers from the center of power of President Bashar al-Assad. A spokesman for the Free Syrian Army of Defectors fighting Assad's forces appeared to confirm that account. Activists said earlier on Sunday soldiers had moved into the suburbs at dawn, along with at least 50 tanks and other armored vehicles. At least 66 people, including 26 civilians, were killed on Sunday, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said. Belgians went on a strike on Monday over government plans to raise the effective retirement age, along with other measures designed to save 11.3 billion euros. It is Belgium's first general strike since 1993. The entire rail network closed, buses and trams were idled, many schools and shops shut. The strike coincides with the 17th EU summit in 2 years as the bloc battles to resolve its sovereign debt problems. The EU leaders will sign off on a permanent rescue fund for the Eurozone and are expected to agree on a balanced budget role in national legislation. Crews cleaned up Auckland's historic City Hall on Sunday from damage inflicted overnight during violent anti-Wall Street protests that resulted in about 400 arrests, marking one of the largest mass arrests since nationwide protests began last year. Auckland police and city officials said they did not have a final tally of arrests. The skirmish injured 3 officers and at least 1 demonstrator. Police said a group of protesters burned an American flag in front of the City Hall, then entered the building and destroyed a vending machine, light fixtures, and a historic scale model of the edifice. And that's all for now. Thanks for being with us.